Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They're losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah. How
does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Here we go, from the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check, 43. Man.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Unable to corral him. He fights through. That one good for 33 and a first. Bit of a haymaker right after the starting bell, Charles. One play on the ground, and you're already on the other side of the 50.
I like how you went boxing there. Essentially went from the weigh-in to walking into the ring, being introduced, and firing away. Big shot early.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in get calm before you go for the big strikes.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. Here's the offensive unit. Max's parents liked him so much they put an extra X on the end.
And they could do that because they saw something before the rest of us. They saw the potential of Max Williams and is coming to realization now in the NFL. A really good tight end with a little bit of speed.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. But look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
On second down, it's Johnson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Here we go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, it's Coleman. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That good for 19 and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, You've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, get down now. It's Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They've just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Murray. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Here we go.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack on first down, Murray. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, flying in there for the sack.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, they're going to have some space here on the free kick.
You're exactly right about that. They just wish that they could have the free kick and not give up the 2 points.
It's taken to the 26.
Let's go, baby.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 22. On first down, Coleman. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second and 5 now. Garoppolo. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. On the screen, this is Coleman. No gain on the dump-off. It's 2nd down. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at his drop. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep...
Oh, now Murray has it stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because... This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one, maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they get. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. And this one caught by Max Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Murray again, second and 10. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be enough.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Garoppolo looks to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Murray sets to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And he's going to go down again. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to our Tiverod Studios here in Orlando. We'll take a minute and look at...
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he slides to avoid the hit. 7 yards there and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. Murray now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away.
And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Bosa, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. It doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Here we go.
They will run again with Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13 yards there and a niner first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Outright completes it to Jarwin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Garoppolo now. This will be caught just inside the 10. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Coleman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long to flip it over to the offensive side? They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Murray. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Here we go.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Watch the twist.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Coleman. Darius Philon there on the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo got his target, Samuel. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. Garoppolo, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Off the play fake to McKinnon, it's Garoppolo. He finds McKinnon, complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
That's it, baby.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Play action, Garoppolo. And this is caught. For the moment it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Murray now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. His throw incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
54 Mike. And come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Will. He don't want it. Jump.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down. Check.
Murray now on first down. He'll find his tight end, Seals-Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Murray now to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kyler Murray, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And a few kneel-downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on first down. It's Coleman, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, Coleman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth.